Hello everyone, welcome to Hue at Home. I'm Tracy Koga. This is our final episode of our Best of Summers here on Hue at Home. Next week we'll have a brand new show. Today though we'll celebrate music, and maybe let's call it the diversity in music. You're going to meet Onna Lu. She's a Winnipegger, but she's bringing her own special brand of South America right here to the prairies. But first, let's meet torch jazz singer Serafin LaRiviere. Now, Serafin has a beautiful gift for music, but perhaps their biggest gift is becoming a parent. I am getting to love this Zoom because I am getting to meet such incredible people from all over Canada, all over the world, but I want to say hello to Serafin LaRiviere. Did I pronounce it right, Serafin?
Yep, LaRiviere, that's just perfect.
And right now you're in Toronto, but you said that you commute between Toronto and Montreal, and where else do you call home?
Toronto and between Toronto and a little tiny village in called North Hatley in the Eastern Townships.
Oh, beautiful.
Which has like a population of 400 year-round, and then in the summertime it goes up to like 3,000.
Yeah, and that's when you're not there anymore, no?
No, I was actually writing out most of COVID there, and I wrote half of the album and arranged the music for the album in there because we were in the middle of this village in the middle of nowhere during a pandemic. So yeah, but no, I don't make it into Montreal too much. Quebec City, I sing there quite a bit during pre-COVID times.
Oh, yes. Okay, so let's talk about the album. And like you and so many other singer-songwriters and artists, 2020 was a lot of writing, a lot of isolation. So this album, what kind of songs motivated you? And then now, I guess, getting this album released is kind of different too as well, correct?
Oh, it's crazy. I had actually planned to record the album back a year ago in the end of March in 2020. And then, of course, all heck broke loose. And it was interesting because I hadn't written music. My last album was 10 years before, and I had taken kind of a hiatus because we adopted our son. And, for any new parents out there, you know what it's like trying to juggle bathing with childbearing, never mind a career. So I was doing gigs in Quebec. I have an agent in Quebec City, and I was doing gigs there, but mostly I was at home. And I hadn't written any music, and so I thought I'll include 2 originals that I wrote quite some time before, and then I'll just do cover songs and kind of arrange those a little bit differently. And when COVID hit, because I'm normally a jazz artist, I felt like all the rules had just been tossed out the window, and so I started arranging the songs, the jazz covers that I was doing, sort of in different ways, borrowing from country and pop and soul and funk. And then I started writing. And I wrote because I had this terrible parenting day. Like, those days where you're just like, you might as well just start putting money in the account for your child's therapy year later on,
Let alone yours.
I was homeschooling, and any parent out there that had to do that deserves every amount of adulation that there is in this planet. I'd had a terrible day. My adoptive mom had died, and I needed advice, and she wasn't there. And I was downstairs, and I wrote this song called Mom. It's actually the next single we'll be releasing later this month. And it opened this gate for me of writing about fear and about comfort and solace as well. And I wrote these very sort of personal songs, and it informed the way I sang the songs that I had chosen for the album. I ended up writing 6 songs, and then kept losing standards as I went along. And it was a very powerful time. I know I'll remember that period for my life. It was really powerful for me.
And it was interesting going back, because you were talking about you're kind of throwing your normal jazz go-to into other different genres. And I really kind of think music, especially this year, took that plunge. Like there's crossovers galore, and artists that you would normally hear on a country station, you hear on pop, and then pop would be country or rock, and I think it's beautiful. Your experience, I guess, getting into these different genres too probably was uplifting for yourself, even as an artist.
It was great because what I did was I was listening. I don't know about you, but for me, nostalgia was huge during the pandemic, those things that bring us comfort. So I was watching the Mary Tyler Moore show, and, but I was also listening to old LPs that I had because I had a little record player. And I was listening to the LPs that I used to listen to, the songs on the LPs that I used to listen to over and over and over again. And I started thinking, what do I like about this song? What is it that, all these years later, I still listen to it and think, oh my God, that's perfect. And so it forced me to sort of look outside of the genres because I have such a disparate taste in music over my lifetime because I'm older and our tastes change as time goes on. And then other artists were doing crazy things. Taylor Swift released a folk album.
Yeah.
Which was stunning. It was stunning. And Lila Bialy released a beautiful album. She's traditionally very jazz, and her album just spans the breadth of genre. So yeah, it was a lawless year.
And will you go back to jazz? And we have to say that jazz really is a niche kind of genre. It hasn't seen the growth like what we call pop music, and all the artists are so unique in themselves and great storytellers, which I probably think is really important for you, right, Serafin?
Yeah. I love jazz, especially the American Songbook. By American, I mean the North American Songbook, which is the classics from, Cole Porter and Noel Coward and stuff that Bing Crosby sang and Rosemary Clooney, those kind of songs. And, you listen to those and you think, I did one of Rosemary Clooney's songs on the album, not one of her songs, but one of her signature pieces called You Came a Long Way from St. Louis. And it is the best, most badass song you can imagine for the 1950s. It's just it's amazing to discover how common the lyrical threads are between them and now, and rediscovering those meanings. I find that very powerful.
And you can understand every single word that they're singing. Sorry, just saying.
Oh my God. Thank heavens for easylyrics.com, where you can just punch in and find out what the heck Elton John was singing in 1974 through a haze of quaaludes and it's a tiny dancer.
Yes, really. So I want to go to you personally. You did mention that you took a 10-year hiatus and you have a son who is now 10 years old, Nikki, and it is a real journey, like amazing journey that you've taken, Serafin, and I think it is something that if you're willing to, I don't know, but share, because it is a powerful story and a great ending too.
It is a continual revelation every day, and I don't use that word lightly or glibly. When you sit and you look at this person who is becoming, now he's pre-adolescent, he's 10, and I'm looking at him and seeing the human being that he is becoming and rising to be, and it's frightening because I think, oh God, don't screw this up. But also it's amazing because he's just like people. He's got his own personality and his own. And I can remember the traits that he had as a child, as an infant, and see how they've sort of grown through time. And it's been a very powerful journey. And because we waited so long for him, because the adoption process is long, and we adopted him in the province of Saskatchewan. We were living there for a short time, and they made it so easy, but even still, it was a 2-year process. And, we were told that we would have a hard time adopting because we're not a typical heterosexual couple. Not a typical normative family, and they took extra good care of us. We hear about red tape, the bureaucracy in Saskatchewan and Regina. The social services were amazingly supportive. Canada has safeguards to prevent abuses of prejudice and abuses of exclusion, which I was so proud of to learn. I get emotional when I think about it. When I think how their main focus is having a child in a home. That's it. They want a child in a home. And so that process of getting a child we had to do 9 months of coursework and learning and classes and then waiting. And then we ended up fostering Nikki at first. And it was 9 months of nail biting. Oh, will the adoption go through? 9 months long. And I think I kept the potato chip companies in business. Like, it was just, to heck with the pandemic. That was the big one. And when it arrived, the slip from the judge arrived on my birthday on June 7th.
Oh, wow.
I know. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't need anything else.
No, no,
So,
that's,
yeah.
no, that is so amazing. And I guess now too, obviously life has changed, right? You're a parent and there's certain things you just can't go run out and do a gig anymore. It's like a lot of
No.
planning before you step out of that door.
And ironically, COVID has actually been, I shouldn't say COVID, isolation has been kind of good for that, I suppose, or kind of conducive to that, because I can't go out and do a little tour right now. I can't go and do a bunch of gigs to release the album, which I would actually love to do. And I take my kid along and I give him my phone because he never gets to play video games. And I'm like, here, you can play a game on my phone. And of course, it's like crack cocaine to children, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
But it has changed the way I have released an album, and I've never had that happen before. I just get notices, oh, CBC is playing your album, and Jazz FM is playing your album, and oh, these people are buying it. And Bandcamp, it went up live on Bandcamp, and it had 900 listens within an 8-hour period, and now it's at like almost 4,000.
Wow.
And the music video for Take On Me that I released
Yes.
back in December, that I shot myself and edited,
Well,
and
hey.
it's got 40,000 views on YouTube. So, but I haven't left my house.
So there you go.
No?
I know it is a real kind of a weird kind of situation, because we all want to see you live. Like, I would love to see you live, but if I can see a video, I'll take that. And it's so
Yeah.
strange. Yeah. So I guess moving on, Serafin, looking into the future, obviously writing more music. Will you still continue in the jazz, or will you maybe become something else?
That's a really good question. I think I will always, 5 of the songs on the album are from a jazz sort of ethos. But I think, I've always had kind of a hard time fitting with jazz. I've had been embraced in San Francisco and in Toronto and in Quebec. But I'm always a little bit different because my voice is kind of unusual, and I don't know. It'll be interesting. And I can't scat to save my life. I sound like a child burbling into their cereal. Like, it's not good. So I don't know. I think I would like to sit where I am for a while, which is straddling a bunch of different fences, and see how that goes. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good place to be. So I am hoping that you are going to give us a song.
Yes, I would love to. The first single we released in December, which was released on a whim. I was bored and I wanted to do something. And we did this video, and I learned how to edit, and it did really well. So and ironically, it's not jazz at all. So I'd love to sing that for you if you're okay. It's one of my favorite songs from the 1980s because I'm an 80s kid, and it was done in a very sort of pop sort of way. And my first album 15 years ago was all pop songs redone as jazz tunes, but I wanted to take a pop song and do it as sort of a torch song, as a quiet, intense sort of piece. And so I took Take On Me from Aha. And remember that video with the the cartoons, like all sketchy cartoons, and big hair. And, it's great. So I redid it, and you know what? The song holds up so well. I watched the video and I was like, "This video is an amazing video."
Well, there you go.
So I got the rights, and I recorded it. So yeah, I'd love to sing that for you.
Okay, thank you so much, Serafin. Serafin
so
LaRiviere,
much.
we love you in Winnipeg. Can't wait to have you here perform live.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay.
talking away. I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway. Today's another day to find you shine away. I'm still coming for you, love. Okay. Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. So needless to say, I'm at a thousand ends when I feel I'm stumbling away. I'm slowly learning that life can be okay. Say it with me. It's so better to be safe than sorry. Take on me. Take me out. I'll be gone in a day or two. All the things that you say, is it like just to play my worries away? You're all the things I've got to remember. You shine away. I'm still coming for you any day. Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. I'll be gone in a day or two. Take on me. Take me on.
Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. So girl, you know what's up. I'm digging you. I'm feeling you. Girl, you know what's up. Say I'm digging you. And I'm more than you. So tell me what's up. Tell me what's up. Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. Girl, you know what's up.
We want to give a warm Winnipeg welcome to Onna Lu. And though you are so internationally known, I am so happy to know that Winnipeg is your home. So my first question to you, Onna Lu, is give us a little bit on your history and how Winnipeg became your landing place, I guess, so to speak.
Well, we were living in the United States at the moment because I went to college there, and my husband did too. And we wanted to try living elsewhere. Argentina has been in a constant crisis since, like, my whole life. And being an artist, particularly, is very hard. So we wanted to try somewhere else. And we kept meeting people who had lived in Canada or who were living in Canada or who live in Canada, and kept hearing these wonderful things. And my husband has a cousin here in Winnipeg. So suddenly, like, everything aligned, and we felt like it was worth the shot. And we came 5 years ago, and we love it. Like, if anything, like, I've been falling in love with it. Like, for my husband was like love at first sight. I think, like, the day we landed, like, his eyes were like shiny and open. I was a little bit more skeptical. It took a while for me, but I love it every day more.
Oh, and so let's talk about your time in the States. A graduate from Berkeley, and wow, I mean, everybody that knows music has heard of Berkeley. How was that whole experience for you, Onna Lu? And yeah, I mean, you get pretty immersed, don't you, in music?
Oh, yes. I don't know. I don't know about other places, but I think it must be like the most immersive musical experience you can have. Just the campus, having so many musicians together, and then like such an amazing offer of classes. You know, you can learn music from all over the world with teachers that are experts in their fields, who are active recording musicians, and just meeting musicians from all over the world, and absorbing about their music, their culture, and getting to create all the time. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. When I was in Argentina, I studied classical composition and it was such a different experience. You know, it was like a lot of studying by myself, and it was beautiful. I learned so much, but I think to become the artist I am today, Berkeley was irreplaceable, a priceless experience.
So commenting on that, when you're talking about Berkeley and being around so many musicians and like-minded people like yourself, but you said music from all around the world, I think now this has given you the opportunity to, how we say, stick to your guns, but you know, your Latin music and your voice and the stories you tell are from the heart. We may not always understand it because it's not in English, but the language of music is universal. And I think now more than ever, we need to be exposed to more different types of music from other cultures.
Yep, I think it's a fascinating moment in history that we're living with social media and this reach we can have. And I think, like, I'm a bit of an idealist and a pathological optimist. But I think, like, the way to get over and evolve out of discrimination, racial discrimination, religious, cultural, like, and building a world together is getting to know. Like, I don't know what I've heard it, but it's much harder to hate someone you know. You know? When you don't know something, it's easier to judge and to dismiss and to blame or whatever. Mm-hmm. But when you connect with this aspect, which music communicates this like no other art almost, when we connect to the things that makes us all the same, that we all share. You know, music talks about human experience, emotion, those things that transcend completely culture or religion or sexual identity. So I think it's a very promising what music can do.
Well, it
in
certainly,
this era.
Yeah, well, it certainly is a gift. And let's talk about, you know, your transition from Argentina, and then you went to the States, I know, but then to here now in Winnipeg and having a life. How different would it be if you had not left Argentina? Where would you be now?
Oh, that's such a great question. Thank you. On one side, when you ask me that, I think, okay, I would be close to my family and friends who I miss so much. It's so hard for me to live far away. But artistically, like since I moved here, I've been able to make a living with my music through performing, through composing, through teaching music. And that's simply like, maybe someone does it in Argentina, but it's really hard. And I am from Buenos Aires, which is a city that is boiling with art, but still like there is not like the space for a musician to have a good quality of life and make a living when you are developing artist like myself. So I'm guessing I would be very happy, close to my family and friends, but also maybe more frustrated artistically, maybe not being able to do all I want to do with my art.
Yes, and now, wow, no one could predict what we are living in now for year 2. How have you coped, you and your husband, through all of this, pandemic, COVID, isolation, virtual, no live performing?
Well, it's been challenging, not being able to visit Argentina. I try to go every 6 months. Now it's been, of course, over a year. But we've both had work, like we're all working, so we haven't felt need, and there's been like great programs to support arts and to support people through this, like in this country, which I am very grateful for. So it's been a challenge, but technology, as I mentioned in my song, is great as long as we don't forget to create real connections, we don't stay on the surface. But through technology, I've been able to still be close and share all these challenging times with my family and friends, and also with my friends here.
Yeah, no, I know no one's written the book about it that says this is what
No
you
one.
have. This is what you have to do.
This is so crazy. Who could have imagined we would be in this position? I mean, some people did, but we didn't listen to them.
Well, and case in point, though, a lot of musicians have taken this time and opportunity to write new material, to be inspired in different ways. And congratulations on your beautiful single. I will let you say the title.
Okay.
Like practice.
It's called Bailar de a dos, which means dance in couples or dance in twos, like dance with someone else. And do you want me to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like, of course, today it means so much in the literal sense, right? Like we miss, like, for example, I used to dance tango here in Winnipeg with the tango community, beautiful tango community here in Winnipeg. And I'm missing that a lot. And we're all missing like actual human contact, right? But in the context of a song, it's also kind of a metaphor of building life with someone else. And I wrote this song actually around 5 years ago, and thinking about how, sometimes we are culturally pushed to be like over-focused on ourselves, our plans, success, work, our inner peace, our organization, our routine, blah, blah, blah. And I wrote these songs thinking how real happiness is not, like, all that is good, it's important, it makes our life, our everyday life enjoyable. But if you don't have someone to share it with, if you're not building your life, sharing your life with other people or someone else or others, it's not enough, right? Having these individual things, individualism in the end, is not enough.
No, and it's so beautiful. And I will tease everybody with a short clip, but a lot of scenes from Winnipeg, and I did recognize a lot of the dancers that you had. So it was just like,
you did.
oh my goodness, like, here you were, and it's just like this hidden gem. And no, it's a beautiful little video, and it just brought back so many memories of, those warm summer nights when they would have the tango out at the Forks and everybody would be dancing. And, we can only wish, and we do have hope that, yes, one day we will return to that. But I think it'll feel much different.
Yes, Yes, it's going to be a readjustment for sure. But yes, I think, or I hope with all my heart that we'll get that back.
Yes.
And that freedom that we enjoyed of
Oh.
getting together, holding each other, kissing each other, traveling through the world
know.
whenever we wanted. It was amazing. And I think we'll enjoy it more because we
Yes.
understand better how blessed we are to have that. And yes, we just have to wait.
Oh, yes.
It's
I know. And be patient.
act together, right? Pandemic showed us that how connected we are, how the whole world is
Yes.
connected.
And
Something
how
we
easy.
had such a hard time understanding. Now it's more evident.
No. And if we kind of, if I can go back to people in your life that influenced you for your music, I just want to touch on you have worked with world-renowned artists and Latin Grammy winners. And it's pretty amazing, Onna Lu. I mean, it definitely obviously shows in your music, but Rosanna was one that individual.
It's just amazing. And she was a huge influence, like when her very, very big album, she released that. I was 13, 14 years old, and I listened to that album so much. And I had this friend who we loved to sing together, and we would just walk through the streets in Buenos Aires, singing out loud all her songs. And at that point, I didn't know I wanted to be a musician, or much less a songwriter or an artist. But that, no doubt, that made a deep mark on how I write songs and how it gave me a channel, a way to, an outlet for all these emotions, these feelings, and me, thanks, that was in Berkeley that happened. She went for a talk there, and I got to meet her, and then she was doing some shows, like a US tour, and she's the most generous, amazing woman. And she started like inviting some of the students she was meeting to perform with her. And she was like, many artists would go like, okay, yeah, come, maybe do some background vocals there or whatever. She was like, no. She invited me to her New York show to sing in a duo with her. And she made me choose the song, whatever song I wanted. So I got to choose my favorite song from her. Like, who does that?
Oh my goodness! Like that
Yeah.
must have been like priceless.
Priceless, yeah, completely priceless. And it's a lot for someone who is finding their way in the industry. It's very inspiring to meet someone who's made it, who has created such beautiful music, who had such an impact on so many people, and meet them and see they are great people. It encouraged me to follow on this path.
And no doubt, I think you too, Onna Lu, would do that to any young woman
Yes.
sitting in the audience for your concert or whatever. Yes,
Okay.
no.
Yes, hopefully. I hope someone wants to, and of course I'll invite them.
Well, I want to ask you though if you could play a song for us. And
Sure.
and before we go too, so you have your new single out, and the new album is going to be coming out, correct? May 28th?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm
So-
going to be releasing another single on April 30th, Amor Crónico, Chronic Love. That's the title. And then by the May 28th, I will be releasing the album.
And the
So I am
album is called
Super excited. Diamante.
Diamante.
So,
Beautiful.
Yes, that's the title of the album. And yeah, I'm so excited. Like, it's been 5 years since I released music. I've been composing, playing like crazy live and stuff, but I haven't been releasing music. So getting this music out again, it's very important to me, and
Oh.
it helps me keep the energy and the patience and the optimism about
Yes.
everything going.
Yes, always creating. Well, we can't wait to hear your song. Congratulations, Onna Lu.
Do you want me to play Bailar de a Dos or another song, or the next release, or
Ooh.
what would you like?
Maybe the next release.
Okay. Let's do that. Does this sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Otra vez una sonrisa amarga y este temblor en los huesos de saber que la enfermedad es igual al remedio. Solo tenerte, mi amor, me hace efecto que adicción irremediable. No sé vivir sin lo que me das, esto es incurable. Aunque sea mi amor, es bien nuestro este dolor. Es crónico los dos, enfermos de amor. Necesito una gota más de eso que me das. Crónicos los dos, enfermos de amor. No nos vamos a curar, fuego hasta el final. Amor crónico, mi amor crónico. Vamos juntos haciendo tormentas, cayendo al vacío abrazados en nuestro propio precipicio de lo no perdonado. Vivimos con el corazón sangrando entre palabras prendidas a fuego, en esta lucha hasta las cenizas que solo los dos entendemos. Aunque sea mi amor, es bien nuestro este dolor. Es crónicos los dos, enfermos de amor. Necesito una gota más de eso que me das. Crónicos los dos, enfermos de amor. No nos vamos a curar, fuego hasta el final. Amor crónico, mi amor crónico. Aunque me lleve el delirio, este martirio es lo que soy. Y si me voy, que sea queriéndote, que sea queriéndote. Crónicos los dos, enfermos de amor. Necesito una gota más de eso que me das. Crónicos los dos, enfermos de amor. No nos vamos a curar, fuego hasta el final. Amor crónico, mi amor crónico.
Welcome back to Hue at Home. Coming right up, I sit down with Ken Lozano, and he is the designer of sartorial funk and these great clothes that I get to wear each week on Hue at Home. And then we'll meet Adrian Sutherland. He's one artist that has really felt the isolation. He's turned a container into a production studio so he can create music. We talk about Respect the Gift, and you can also listen to his brand new single right here. Welcome back to Hue at Home. Well, it's time to do a Skype interview with a very dear friend of mine, Ken Lozano. We all know him as Aldo Formal Wear. They're iconic in the city for the beautiful suits that they make. And my goodness, I'm going to go to Ken now. Ken, you probably know like almost every groom in Winnipeg right now, correct?
Yeah, we've been doing it for quite a long time. So yeah, I've created a big clientele and made a lot of relationships along the way.
Yeah, no, indeed, special days, right, for people that are getting married. But you've now, well, I wouldn't say now, this has been a baby of yours for quite a while, but you've launched your own fashion line, Sartorial Funk. So first of all, let's talk about the name. It's a different name, and you know, my goodness, I have to think about it every time I say it.
Yeah, so sartorial funk means basically I was taught how to dress sartorial, which means proper, clean, but I always broke the rules, so I decided to add my own funk to it. So that's where the name came to the idea. So I thought I'd just like share it with the whole community here.
Well, and you are one not to always play by the rules. You like to break them. And
Yeah,
I am
that's-
so happy that you have now become my fashion stylist. You've taken me
Yeah.
outside of the box. So I am going to stand up and I'm going to let you explain the new look here for sartorial funk. Okay, go ahead.
Sure. Okay, so the top that you're wearing today is inspired by like a Japanese fit. Right now, moving forward to fashion, I've been doing like more of an oversized fit, and then at the front, I decided to add like cargo pockets just to add some detailing. Now those trousers that you're wearing right now are amazing. They're made out of tweed wool, so they're perfect for fall and winter. And if you guys notice, there's a like a 4-inch waistband, high-waisted pant, and they're actually enclosed on the side with a side zipper and a couple clips there. So just to infatuate the front side of the waistband. Um, then if you look like on the bottom, I decided to do more of a flare finish to the pant just to kind of match the oversized fit of the shirt. So yeah, this is sartorial funk, a little bit more of a fun, formal, but yet casual side of me too as well, for men and women.
Wow. You know
Yeah.
what though? And I have to admit, Ken, these pants are so incredible. The fabric is so beautiful too as well. And
Yeah.
I want to say that this is a different side of you, a little bit more getting into the tailored look.
Yeah, totally. You know, people know me as creating like suits, formal wear throughout my whole career. So I kind of want to like bring a different aspect to the table. You know what I mean? So not only that, it's nice to show like the street side, the fun side of like my fashion, right? So and plus it's like totally for everyone to wear. So that's the reason why I did that.
Oh, well, you know what? Your talent doesn't come too far from your father. So how much
Yeah.
is your dad an influence on you?
Oh, from this day on, he's still an influence in my life. You know, I'm blessed that he's still working with us. You know what I mean? And he carved out my path for me. I learned so much things from him in the past that really helped me in work and in life too as well. Not only that, like I get to teach him some things too. So it goes hand in hand, right? So we're such a strong bond that no one can stop.
Wow. And okay, so let's get into it. 2020
Sure.
probably wasn't the year that you banked on.
No,
You know,
no,
no weddings, no grads. How
no.
have you coped and, you know, made this a turnaround for you during this lockdown now that we're in again?
Yeah, like you know, this year started off as a really good year for us until the pandemic hit. You know, like we were breaking records here, and a lot of clients came here and just to kind of inquire about our services, right? Then obviously COVID came along and kind of put everything on pause. But to be honest with you, I think it's a life lessening thing right now. It's not just us, but it's for everyone, right? So now it's a really good time to be really nice to each other, no matter what, just to kind of like, you know, appreciate what we have in life, right? So yeah, that's how I've been coping with things. Also, now that I have like a lot of time in my hands, I've been branching out to other resources to keep my sane, I guess, like just to keep me
Same.
like in check. So I've been doing a lot of like photography, designing a little bit more clothing, and you know, always keeping in touch with my family. Thank God, like my family is healthy, safe, so we're blessed for that. But I do have a brother that works in the hospital. He's a respiratory therapist, so that kind of like made me understand how serious this pandemic is, because he sees and helps a lot of people that are going through hard times with COVID right now. So my advice to people out there is like take this pandemic serious, because you don't want to lose like your loved ones over this situation right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And moving forward, Ken,
Yeah.
what do you think? Can you guess? You know, will we all go back to normal? And
Oh,
even
yeah,
in your
yeah.
industry too, in fashion, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that's so
yeah.
drastically changed. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. We just have to be really patient right now. I'm a big believer of like team effort. Man, if we do it as a team and if everybody listens and kind of participates on the things that, well, all the little things that we have to do, we'll get right back there. And when things are like up and running again, it's going to be like 100% better than what it was previous years, right? So, but right now we just kind of have to like be patient and be really nice to each other. That's very important.
So my last question is, what are you going to make for me next?
Oh yeah,
I'm
okay,
getting really.
yeah. I'll come up with something for you. Yeah, we're gonna have to like kind of sit down and kind of like pick your brain a little bit because I want it to be a little bit more of you, but at the same time with a little bit of my pizzazz in it too. So yeah, I got
Of
you.
course.
I got you.
I know, Ken.
Yeah.
I love you. We all love you. And thanks so
We
much
love
for
you too.
taking this time. And
You're welcome.
we can hardly wait to what you're going to create next. Ken Lozano, Sartorial Funk, Aldo Formal Wear. You're wonderful. Love you.
Thank you.
Okay. Looking to highlight your hairstyle with some glitz and glamour? Well, you'll love Birch accessories. They are unique in design and quality without the high-end price. Express your personal style to the world with these beautiful and affordable pieces. Order online at verdesalon.ca or birchaccessories.ca and use new10 for 10% off your first order. It's always nice to share a really, really wonderful story. And this truly is. It brings music, it brings people, and it creates a kind of connection. So I want to welcome, once again, Adrian Sutherland, Jolie L'Esperance for the first time on You at Home, and my good friend Rosanna Schick. And I'm going to go to Rosanna first because, wow, I mean, it's just been crazy, crazy times, especially for musicians, especially for the arts and culture. And somehow you always manage a team to come and perform and do incredible things. So Respect the Gift is an incredible music video featuring Adrian Sutherland. And I want to know the story behind this whole video and the music too as well. So let's start with Adrian, since you are the singer-songwriter.
Well, thanks for having me back again. Yes, it's certainly a very, very difficult time for a lot of people, especially in the arts community. Yeah, well, it was certainly a challenge when everything came to a halt for us. We had to adjust and kind of adapt to the times to try to keep some of the music projects that we had been juggling at the time to keep them moving forward. And Respect the Gift actually was a song that was already written and recorded last year, just before we were full-blown pandemic. And it was almost maybe not even a few weeks after the song was complete, the recording of it anyway, it started to look like we were starting to move into that whole crazy, the crazy times we're seeing now. Yeah, so we sat on it for a while, and the whole idea of the song was really about sharing the gifts that we have as human beings, and whatever that may be. In our case, it's music, and wanting to share music and bring out positive messages through our music and share that with as many people as we can.
Wow. And dancers, Rosanna, you are the video producer amongst other things too as well, but the whole concept for the video, how did that all begin?
Well, once Adrian had recorded the song and we had to listen to it, we realized it was a great dancing song. It just had a really good vibe, and we thought, wouldn't it be cool to make a dance music video? So that became our goal right from the beginning. And then, of course, when the pandemic started, we realized that making a dance video would be very challenging, especially doing something on location that would be interesting enough to hold somebody's attention for the duration of a video. We decided that the best approach would be if we could shoot some dancers and then animate the video. And luckily, we worked with Justin Stevenson before. He's the animator on this project. And he loved the idea. So we came up with the idea of doing a silhouette style dancing presentation in front of the blue screen, and then he could animate in the background any kinds of designs that he wanted to add. And we kind of liked the idea of a 70s sort of retro groovy vibe. And he loved it too. So he just decided to run with that. So then all we had to do was find the dancers. We decided to shoot it here in Manitoba because we have the Chroma Ranch, and we had a facility that was accessible to us because of a colleague that I have here in the film industry. So we got permission to shoot there. We hired a small crew. We booked a date, and then we went looking for dancers and did a call out on Facebook. Got about a dozen auditions, and 5 of them just jumped out at us, and those are the 5 that we went with.
And that's a great segue into Jolie L'Esperance. Welcome, Jolie. I guess.
Hello.
Yes. Okay. So fill us in. What was the experience like dancing in this video and blue screen? So it's just you.
Yeah, it was very interesting on so many levels. I mean, being a part of an artistic project during these times is just very interesting to begin with. How it all lined itself up, I do an audition and you just kind of release it to see what happens, and the conduit through which it came. How I found out about the audition wasn't through Facebook. It was actually through a friend who said, "Hey, I'm auditioning for this thing. Do you want to audition too?" And I went, "That sounds great." I teach dance to kids, so I had studio time, so I was able to get in there and just kind of throw something out. And again, it all kind of happened. I found out about it. I did the audition. I let it go. And then I went, "Oh, okay." And I hadn't heard anything. And then right before it was about to happen, I heard, "Hey, we would like to have you come in." And my mind couldn't quite wrap around it, but it did. And then I went, "Oh, okay. So now my Saturday is going to be this. All right." And so then I was just, my forward momentum towards it after hearing the song. And I want to tell you, Adrian, I was telling Tracy and Rosanna that your song has become my internal theme song. I hear Respect the Gift all the time in my head, and it's fantastic. And I really appreciate it because I love that flavor of music. I love the message. So all of it, like the song, you as an artist, Aaron, Rosanna, just the whole situation felt like just a great big love in, just like, let's love art, let's love dance, let's try this new thing, let's still keep on being creative and moving forward with it, even when everything around is kind of saying, "Oh no, shut down, don't do anything," So I felt very blessed to be a part of it, and it was really, really great. And dancing on the blue screen was also very interesting because when you're used to, as a performer, being seen totally, like makeup, hair, the whole deal, and you get out there, it was so freeing to just go, "Oh, all I have to do is dance. This is great." And then whatever part of me will be taken for it. That was the other interesting part. You just don't know what you've done, what will be used out of it as well. And so, or what will be valid for the through line of stuff. So you just let it go and you trust. And it was really great. And I was really honored to be a part of it and had a lot of fun. So yeah. Yeah.
Was there any special moments for you, Jolie, on the set or throughout this video?
Yes, there was. Absolutely. I had a specific moment where I had a major dream remembrance that I had been there standing in the blue screen, looking around and going, "Whoa, I totally had a dream." And I had to say it out loud to everybody. I just said, "Thank you everyone for being a part of my deja vu because I've been here before." And so for me, it was a real spiritual moment because I went, whenever I have one of those moments, and they do happen in my life often, it's like a little signpost saying you're on the right track. You're doing the right thing. You're part of a good thing. It all just is an affirmation of it being a really special project, a special moment, a special integration. And so yeah, that was so Aaron, I wanted to tell you that because it was quite powerful for me because this is the first time I'm getting to meet him. So I'm honored about that too. And to say thank you to Rosanna, thank you to Aaron, and thank you Tracy for having me be a part of this because it really was it was a gift for me to be a part of it. So that's what I wanted to share as well. And I have a little bit of low blood pressure, and I gave it so hard for the times that we did it that I actually just had to lie down on the floor for a second and gather myself. Because so that was I went through a physical journey as well, because you go hard for however many minutes and three run-throughs of the full song, and then they just gather whatever visuals they can. And so it was a lot. It was beautiful, and like I said, I'm really glad to have been a part of it. So that's my perspective.
Well, Adrian, that must make you feel pretty proud.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just been a wonderful experience since the beginning, from when the song was introduced from in the songwriting stage, right from the recording, and then getting the mixing done, and then getting the idea of making a dance video. That whole process again was very fun to kind of walk through and be a part of the decision making, and the end result couldn't be more wonderful. It's just such a great video, and all the people that were involved in this made it what it is and made the song even come to life more.
So, Adrian, when we first met, you had a band, like Midnight Shine, and now you're doing, a few more solo projects. Which do you like better, band, solo, or is it all both good?
Well, I mean, there's some good that comes with both sides, the solo and the full band. There's also some other stuff that, I guess, not so good stuff that may come along with both sides of it. I miss the band, performing with the band, traveling with the band. When I first started stepping away from the band again, it was a little bit nerve-wracking to get up on stage by myself, because I no longer I felt really naked, up there by myself again, and it was just me and nobody else, and everyone was watching. So, but it's been good. I like the ability to go out and branch out on my own and create music. That perhaps maybe I feel isn't quite in the vein of Midnight Shine style. Kind of, it gives me that ability and that freedom, and also to work and collaborate with other people that are interested in wanting to work with me. It's just been a real wonderful experience, I think, and a good learning experience for me as well. And yeah, I want to continue working as a solo artist for a little while, since I can't get together with my band anyway for any time soon, it seems.
True. Yeah. No, very, very true. And maybe a question for both Adrian and Rosanna is sort of where music is going, and especially in these times, I guess, Rosanna, to release a video that is fun, that's full of hope and respect, especially right now where respect is maybe a forgotten word. How important is it to keep on doing these things and sending out these messages?
Oh, I think it's very important to be sending out positive messages today. As we all know, it's been a really challenging year for everybody, no matter what industry you work in. It's been particularly hard in the arts, for musicians and artists who are used to touring and who need that interaction with fans in order to advance their career. And it's just been, a lot of hard times for people. So to see something happy and bright and positive and fun and upbeat, like we've been getting a lot of messages from fans and friends who are saying the video, brings a smile to their face. And, they played it for their mother and their mother loved it. And, it reminded their cousin of like the 1970s. And so it's been a lot of really fun, positive messages. And it feels really good to be able to have that kind of impact on people at a time like this.
Yes. Oh, and Jolie is a perfect example of being part of something like that. Mentally, it makes such a big difference, right, Jolie?
Yeah, my preference is to be involved in projects that are uplifting, that are going to be, supporting people in finding their joy, and finding places to go. All right, bring your heart up, expand your ability to bring your heart to situations, and also know that there's other people too around who have that same, to get into a community of people who really want to also do that. You shore each other up and we all rise together, and that's something that I find very important. So that's why I think this song and its message and everything is so exactly what we need to hear right now. Just respect the gifts that you have, what's flowing around you, and enjoy it and share it. And that's why I was really happy to be a part of this project, for sure.
Oh, well, and to wrap things up, Adrian, to you, you live in a remote community and you've done so much for yourself, obviously a role model. The power of music, and how do you explain that and share that with the young people today, and the importance of it too?
I guess first and foremost, I would probably start with music. For me has always been a way to kind of get through some of the more challenging things that I have to endure growing up in such a far remote community in the north that has its own set of challenges. And I've used that as an outlet. I used it to kind of help myself, kind of uplift myself out of some of the situations that I had to grow up in and experience. And even today, like there's a lot of things that I'm still encountering by living here, and it's really difficult. And I think music is always, for me, it's something I get to go and do, and to express myself, to express my emotions, to express what I'm feeling, and just get rid of that, and get it out there and put it out into the world. That's such an important thing, is to express what someone is feeling, and not keeping those things in. And it's also a way for me now. It's been a real grind for the last 10 years, and it's starting to be to me. I can kind of see how far I've come now with the music, and when you look back and you look at, oh wow, I didn't realize how much ground we covered in the last 10 years, but man, it really is a lot. And we've been able to come this far now. And it is a difficult industry to survive, and even more so now. It's just, it's almost impossible to look ahead and to see any kind of positive things on the horizon. But I remain optimistic and continuing to make sure music is a big part of my life still today. I mean, I come out here every day and I do music. I'm at home, so that there's a good balance there right now, and I feel like I'm in a really comfortable place.
Yeah, and we love your new studio. Rosanna was filling us in. So that's your own recording studio. Turned it into a trailer, now recording studio. So you're well on your way. And you know what? Thank you so much for sharing your gift. It's respect the gift. We'll show you the video for sure. The video is spectacular. Thank you, Rosanna, as always. Amazing work. And let's keep in touch. And maybe, one day filming will obviously start again. And Adrian will be coming back to Winnipeg for a concert. And Jolie and I will be in the audience dancing. Oh, well, thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy your day. Respect the gift. Adrian Sutherland and Rosanna Schick, dynamite duo. Okay, thank you so much.
Where do we go from here? The end is surely near. Where do you go, my dear, to mend your broken heart? Are you asleep, my friend? Are you the living dead? You can't change the world if you don't do your part. Come up from the rubble. Come up from the ash. Respect the gift. Respect the gift. Respect the gift. Respect the gift.
We want to say a very special thank you to all of our guests on today's show and leave you with this question. What is the first music artist that you want to see live in concert? We want to know, so send us an email to hello@ilikeyou.com or message us on Facebook and Instagram @ilikeyou. But for now, stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you next time on Hewitt Home.